Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alex Andrew.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're here with another episode of Your Healthy Living.
Yes.
You look nice and pink here today. I like that. You're so dressed up, I kind of feel like I should be panhandling to you or something.
Aw, thanks.
You always look so good, though. That's a good thing. It's always good to have a great guest host.
Thank you.
Or actually hostess. Do we say that anymore? That's a question I have. Can we say hostess anymore?
I don't know.
Or is it host? Is it actor? Is it actress? Is it this or is it that?
Question.
Is it them or is it they? Is it he? Is it they?
Assembly person, assembly woman? I really don't know.
Do you see that thing about somebody taking man out of the thing?
Yeah.
It's like it's no longer a congressman, it's a congressperson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the one. The one I have a problem with is Goldman person or Gold person Sachs instead of Goldman Sachs.
Oh,
I don't know how
I
that's
haven't heard
going
of
to
that
work.
one yet.
Well, anyway, yes, we live in California, but hey, we're on an even keel here at the Kindness in Your Soul Network, KIYS Radio, especially with this show, Your Healthy Living, which is the brainchild of lovely Dr. Shasta here.
Thank you.
And we've had some great programs.
Yes.
Had a lot of
I've
fun.
been very inspired by some of them, and I think they're very educational.
And I do have to thank you very much for introducing me to some really cool people. I will have to say, out of the, I don't know, we've probably done 18, 19 shows now. Just about every one of them I'm friends with on Facebook now. I see what's going on. They're just really cool people. So you have a great vibe.
There are people
Shasta.
like you and your family, Andy.
Oh, well, thank you. We all try to hang together.
That's why we found each other.
It's an attractor universe, and we all attract each other, and here we are.
And we have one of my best friends here today.
Yes, and we attracted somebody great for the show today. Would you like that segue?
We got Lissa Wells. Yes, who actually has fairy hair because she really, truly is someone who creates magic in people's lives.
Oh, there you go.
She is
like
passionate about transformation, health, and wellness, finding a way to combine all three through nutritional cleansing with isogenics, has been a game changer. Her vision is to impact people's health and vitality all around the globe, one conversation at a time. She is a true believer in possibility and love. And if anybody could empower someone to change their health and their life, it's Lissa.
Yes, and through the magic of radio, we're actually talking to her live here in our studio, 3,600 miles apart. So it's a really long table to that other microphone on the end. How you doing, Lissa?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm so grateful to be here with you guys. You guys are so fun. You have such great energy, and I love what you guys are doing, like sharing all this healthy lifestyle, healthy living with so many people, all these different aspects. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We try really hard. Every Tuesday we're here working our tails off until, gosh, we usually get out of here about 7, right?
We do.
But it's fun. It's a labor of love.
It is. This is our hobby, along with what we're passionate about.
Well, we're making it better be more than a hobby because we're spending a lot of hours on this.
Well,
so this is a passion.
This is more than a hobby. This is a passion.
This is a passion, and it's been growing. The shows have been great. We're going to be actually on air here in the Bay Area starting next week, so that's exciting. So we actually get some TV exposure. That's all fun, fine and dandy. So look for us on the tube coming up. But we like this format. This format works well for us. We can network with all sorts of people. You can rewind and record. You don't need the old DVR type thing that we had before. So I'm really excited to learn some more about nutritional cleansing and getting this done the right way. Yeah. And we're going to be right back after this short little commercial break and talking more with Lissa about nutritional cleansing. Yeah. Stay tuned to the KIYS Video Web Radio Network. This is Your Healthy Living. Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alex Andrew.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back again having fun talking about nutritional cleansing, which I've needed through my whole life. I've always felt like I was a pretty clean guy. But when I found out about cleansing, it was totally different than soap and water.
Wow. Well, you are in great shape, and so is your
Well, thank you.
fiance, and so is your daughter.
Thank
So
you.
you guys all know a lot about health. It occurs to me
Well,
as a doctor of acupuncture.
I've always been half my age, or thought I was half my age.
Yeah.
So obviously, getting through high school was a challenge. Because anyway, so we've been, and this is interesting, Lissa, because I've been familiar with your the program that you have been introduced to for quite a few years, and believe you me, it's a great program. I swear by it. I've been on some of the products for probably 4, 5, or 6 years now. I don't know. Time goes so fast anymore. You just never know. But how did the transformation related to nutrition? How is this possible? I mean, what is it as far as you feeling like this nutritional thing was going to change your life? Because I know it did for me, but what was it as far as you're concerned?
Well, thanks. To me, transformation is really like discovering a whole new realm of possibility. That's
Right.
what transformation is for me. So it's like taking something that used to live in a blind spot and then having it be seen. And then once it's seen, it can't be unseen again.
Right.
And that was my experience with my own nutritional cleansing journey, that something woke up inside of me and I was like, oh my God, like I could be this vital and this alive. Right.
Right.
And there was no going back. And there was also no keeping quiet about that. That was something that I absolutely wanted to tell the people who mattered to me in my life, the people, who, I care about. I wanted to absolutely share that with them
Well, and
so
it
that
kind of like
transform.
what we were talking. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but kind of like what we were talking about early in the show. It maybe initially it kind of felt like a hobby, but when I'm guessing what I'm hearing, like I did, you felt this effect that was impactful enough to create that passion and that burning inside you to be able to help share this with other people you love, so they live a better, healthier, more pain-free type of life.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
Lisa,
Exactly. Totally.
I've seen you doing these triathletes on your Facebook. And what age are you now?
So I'm almost 55. I'll be 55 at the end of the month.
Wow,
Yes.
awesome.
And can we see a before and after picture of you?
So in the
Okay.
before picture that you're about to see, it was about 4 years ago. I'm 51 in this picture and I'm carrying my baby weight. You'll see it very clearly there. My babies at the time are age 14, age 19 and age 21 years, not months. And at that point, my pants aren't fitting anymore. I'd put on just enough weight that gotten past the threshold of my pants fitting. I was only wearing leggings and dresses and feeling really discouraged. Discouraged is a really minor word. I was really feeling kind of hopeless. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do everything I know. I was green juicing, I was walking, and nothing was making a difference. And I'm like, well, I'm 51. Maybe this is just how it is premenopausal,
Oh yeah, that 50 thing. It's
that
different.
50 thing,
I'm
maybe
there. I know it.
maybe it's as good as it gets. Like, ugh. And then I saw on Facebook one of my friends put up this before and after picture of himself, and he said he did a cleanse. And so didn't look like a crash diet to me. It like a cleanse to me sounded healthy. So I called him up, checked it out, and he tells me a little bit about it. And Shasta, you know this about me. I have been cooking and making my own foods since growing up, since a teenager, right? So I've always cooked and prepped my own food and all of that. I even have a little garden in the backyard, all of that. And he says to me, "Oh, it shakes and you're going to love it." And I'm like, I don't do shakes, I was
Right.
suddenly very turned off. But I was like, you know, I'll try it. I'll try anything. I'm desperate. I'll try anything. And I also had the fortitude of, I've raised 3 toddlers. I can do anything. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. Kids
right?
create your power. I
Yeah.
believe you me. I'm on 4 right now. I can get it.
So I was like, for 30 days, I could do anything. So I
Right.
signed up for the 30-day thing. And I was like, okay, day 7 comes. And I have this just absolute awakening inside my body. And I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm back. Where
Hmm.
have I been? Like the awakening was like I feel like I did in my 30s, and I didn't even recognize that I didn't feel that way anymore. That somehow I had all clogged up and fogged over, and now I was back. And I was like, well, I'm not I'm never returning to how I used to be. This
Right.
is how, shake a day. I'll have a shake a day. Sure. So I became totally sold in that moment that this was the nutrition for me long term. And I was going to share it with everybody because I want everybody to feel their very best selves.
Well, and you think about health and nutrition in a lot of ways, and I think a lot of people really kind of pin this aspect of no pain, no gain. It has to like taste bad or be bad or hurt to be able to have that gain. And I know where I come from on this. I like a little bit of pain sometimes. I kind of get in when I'm working out. I like to go until muscle failure. Of course, some people would say that's stupid. Why would you do that? Well, because for me, the way that I feel afterwards makes the difference. And I tell you what, if you can kick certain addictions, this is the kind of addiction to have, is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because you feel good. I
Right.
mean, and so what was the first thing you really noticed besides just this seventh day? I mean, there had to be other things that really kind of kept you rolling along with this thing, other than like you said before, it's kind of like the frog in the warm water. You just stay there and stay there. Next thing you know, it's so hot you end up boiling to death.
I
What is
think
it
about
keep
that
you?
frog a lot when I
Yeah.
think about my story. I really feel like I was that frog. So it was the energy at first. That was the first thing, and then my body really did start to drop the weight, and I call it shape shifting because I wanted to move. I had so much energy that I wanted to exercise, and I hadn't wanted to really exercise for years. So I started biking all the time. Now I do triathlons, which was never in my realm of possibility beforehand. But my best friend kept telling me that I was going to do it with her, and I'm like, okay. I just kept saying yes. So now my body was craving motion and wanting to be moving at a much different level. And I'm not a marathon runner. It's not, I do sprint triathlons, so it's still moderate in my opinion. And I crave motion. My body wants to move regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great when
Which
you're
is-
past 50s, to be able to feel that. I mean, I run in,
Yeah.
I'm a couple years older than you are, but I run into people that, graduated the same year from me, and I sit there and, maybe they're sitting at the bar and they got gray hair and, they're overweight and they're definitely wrinkly. And in my mind, I think, oh my gosh, I bet this guy is about the same age as me. And then I go, no, that can't happen. Next thing you know, yeah, I graduated in 1979. Oh, yeah, so did I. He goes, man, you look good. What's it all about? And again, it's an addiction to wanting to feel good and wake up. And the afterglow of that is looking like you do, right? Where
Yeah.
you look young, you look
Vibrant.
healthy, you got this energy, and you're happy. And
I'm
that I
happy.
think is
And
key.
being happy.
That and maybe it's just me, but don't you think depression has a lot to do with the nutritional aspects of who we are as human beings?
Absolutely. I could not agree
Absolutely.
more. And, where I notice it so profoundly is when I get into a room of about 100 people who are all, users of the Isogenics products on a regular basis, right? Like
Right.
I'll be in a room with a whole bunch of people and everybody's like off the wall happy. Like you just can't get over this happy glow in the
Right.
room.
Oh,
And that's where
awesome.
it becomes so magnified. Like it makes such a difference. And there are people who I know who used to be just angry and complaining a lot. And now that they've got this great nutrition in them, they don't. So I know that it's feeding the brain as much as
Absolutely.
you can feel it all here. It's doing amazing things in the brain.
Well, the serotonin
Has a
is made in the
happy
gut. So if the
Right.
body is clear and the intestines are clear, you will have better neurotransmitters and more happy hormones. Actually, the small intestine is our second brain.
Yes,
and the
it is.
vagus nerve connects the brain to the small intestine. It's completely connected. That if we need to be healthy,
So it's
inside
kind of
and
like
out.
the fulcrum, and we're going to talk a little bit about that fulcrum of moving ourselves from the out of shape, depressed person to the happy, fit person. And we'll be right back after this commercial break. You're listening to KIYS Radio.
I'm McKenna Ray, here to share with you healthy tips. Today we're talking about winter and how your skin can get dry and you can become a little dehydrated and ways to prevent that. Continue drinking lots of water. Eat certain fruits and vegetables that have a lot of high water content in them, like berries or cucumbers. Keep lotion around, keep hydrated before you go to bed. Drink lots of glasses of water, or also apply chapstick or your moisturizer, whatever that might be. Another thing during winter is a lot of people tend to get sick and get colds. And part of that has to do with our vitamin D in our body. We don't get as much of that from the sun like we do in the summer, and that is what helps our body absorb the nutrients that we need to fight off these colds. So during winter, take your vitamin D to help absorb the vitamin C and whatever else that it might be that you are taking to help avoid that. Also, keep your probiotics in your body as well, because keeping your gut health is so important. 80% of sicknesses come from our gut health, and if we can boost up the probiotics that we have in our body, then we boost up our health in general. So apply these to your daily life or your weekly routine and watch your life unfold to be happier and healthier.
Hey, everybody, my name's Alex Andrew.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back.
Yes.
We're back with your healthy living, having fun, talking about nutrition and being happy. I guess we must have pretty good nutrition, Shasta. Huh?
I do. I know I do.
I know I do, too.
I eat cleansing food every day.
And I
take lots of cleansing supplements.
And I live with a vegan, so I'm about, 65% vegan. Is that a thing? I guess you can be. For me, it works. But no, this is great. We've been talking about nutrition and how, like you were just saying before the break, about how really everything does start in the gut.
Well, there have been some studies, very fascinating, that basically the body's made up of 90% bacteria and 10% cells, which means that our friendly bacteria in our gut are precursors to everything, our neurotransmitters, keeping us thin, our metabolism, even the way our gene expressions. So they have done studies where in mice, they've taken the bacteria from the fecal matter of a thin mouse and put it in a obese mouse, and that mouse has gotten thin. The bacteria in our gut is what makes everything work.
I'm not sold on that one.
Well,
but I've heard of that theory.
So,
and I believe it works.
Sugar feeds the bad bacteria.
I'd rather drink shakes personally, but that's just me.
The shakes are the type of thing that the bad bacteria doesn't grow on and the good bacteria does grow on. So it is important to have these nutrients, and especially things that have a bitter taste.
Yes, I've heard that.
And all of the leafy green vegetables have a bitter taste. And those
Brussels sprouts.
Those decrease your sugar cravings.
Right. They're great.
And actually make it easier to get off of the sugar addiction.
Yeah,
which
sugar's
is what these cleanses are about.
bad stuff.
It's very addicting.
Right.
So, Lissa, would you like to share about some of your success stories with your clients?
Sure.
And what they did? Yeah.
So I'll tell you about my best friend. And we do have a picture of her, so I'm sure we'll get to put that up. But so she even though she saw me, and she's my best friend, and pretty much we do everything together, she resisted for the longest time. And then finally she said yes. Now, what was going on for her and why she was resisting is she was having all of these digestive issues, which she'd had for really decades. Real serious digestion problems. Like sometimes they would keep her in bed and unable to go to work. Like, I'm not going to go into, more than that, but just some very serious issues. And I was confident that, like you just said with the whole bacteria thing, like get some good stuff in there, get the gunk out that the body will repair. And that's the whole design of the system, is like the body's the miracle. If you can get the gunk out of the way, the body, and give it good nutrition to work with, the body will do the repairs that are necessary. So this is food, this is not medicine, it's food. Right. And it took time. It took her a couple of months, but the thing you can see on the outside is she dropped weight. Like that's in the before and after picture. That's obvious, right? What you can't see is that her digestion totally changed. So that she wasn't having those keeling over, cramping motions, all of that, just, it really healed. It totally healed. And that's like a thing of her past now. And
did she have to take digestive medication? Was she having to take anything
She
for
was
that?
not taking medication, but they actually wanted to do surgery on her. But she postponed the surgery and did this, chose to do this. And then,
That's great.
yeah.
So really, again, what I hear is we're talking about the food really becoming the substitute for the medicine. In its essence, not that it's not, not that it is medicine and it's going to heal everything. It's a process of creating a food ingestion habit that allows you to not have to experience certain digestive issues. I've experienced certain things with people with allergies and some other things that just seem to, if maybe they don't go completely away, but there's that reduction in people because all of a sudden their body, which it's a machine, think about it. I mean, if you put water in a gasoline engine gas tank, it's not going to go anywhere. So I think the idea is get that premium octane food in there, and I'm confident that that the company has a good, solid product to be able to help
I've
people
seen it
be
be
able to do
helpful for
that.
people too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the piece is the cleansing piece. So it's, you clean out the gut. Like, we have wonderful organs that are designed to cleanse us, our kidneys, our lymph, our liver. But we live in such a toxic world that
Exactly.
our organs are completely overwhelmed.
Right.
So I think of the cleansing juice and the other cleansing products as like the personal assistant to our organs, right?
Yeah.
So that's really like assisting everything so that the organs can do their job. It can help pull some of the toxins out.
Truly.
And then the body can actually absorb the nutrients.
Now, I think we probably want to define this, and I'm kind of guessing here from my limited knowledge, but we're not talking about like a lower bowel cleanse in this type of a thing. We're talking about cleaning things out more from the liver standpoint, if I'm not mistaken. Is that?
Yeah, so it's not. You're right. It's not. We say it's not a poopy cleanse.
Right.
It's not a that kind of a cleanse, an intestinal cleanse. It's a cellular cleanse.
Okay,
So
cellular.
that it's really pulling, cell by cell, pulling the impurities out of the cell and assisting the body in flushing them out.
Right.
Because the body is designed to do that, but the body needs some assistance because we have accumulated so much extra toxins because of what's in the air, what's in the water, what's in the plastics that migrate into us. Our bodies are just overwhelmed, and it's assisting so that our bodies can actually run the way they are designed to run.
And
I like to think of 4-year-olds. When you see 4-year-olds skipping down the street with all that energy, we're all supposed to feel like that, right?
Yeah, and they haven't had enough time to get crap into their system yet, so they're having a good time.
They're still right. And Dr. Christopher Hobbs last week.
Oh yeah.
Doing his treadmill 5 to 7 miles a day, looking like he still has a body like he's a teenager, and he's doing all these things that you guys are talking about. We're talking about.
One of the descriptions, or it's not really an analogy, but one of the descriptions I have heard about the cleanse program that you're talking about was it helps to remove the toxic stuff that's in your body, because when we go on certain diets and we're trying to lose fat, if we still have toxins in it, our body has this automatic mechanism to want to hold that toxin away from our bloodstream and our muscle tissue so it holds it in the fat. So and I've seen this happen with my friends. When that toxic junk is moved out and from the cells of the fat, as you said, was a cellular cleanse, all of a sudden now the body doesn't feel like it needs that extra layer of protection to protect from the toxin, so it becomes a little easier to burn that fat. Is that similar to what, I mean?
Absolutely. That's part of the system as I understand it, the mechanics of it or the biochemistry of it. Because, the body it encapsulates the toxins in fat so that it protects us from those toxins. And if you just go on a diet and you don't pull out the toxins, then your body's going to want to accumulate more fat to wrap around those toxins again, to insulate again.
And it makes sense if you see heavy people, because heavy people are eating crap. And, you keep gaining. Well, it's calories, it's this, that, and the other thing, but there's a lot of toxic food.
The calorie is a myth. It's more about empty calories versus high dense nutrient calories. And there's this amazing thing, which is that the pH of the stomach is really, really low. It's actually very acidic. But when we eat more acidic foods like the standard white American diet, we actually alkalize our pH in our stomach. Then the acidity in our small intestine goes down, and we actually start to get something called leaky gut syndrome, where we don't break our food down as well, and we end up getting toxic overload because it didn't get fully broken down and assimilated, starting with the gut and the food we're eating. And these foods that Lissa has are more alkaline.
Yeah.
And they keep the stomach acid at the right level so that it's pH balanced, so that those dense proteins and other chemicals don't end up getting assimilated back up into the system, into the tissues.
So they've already been digested before they get in there and have
they get broken down. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? This is a great program. I swear by it. I'm behind you 100% on this, Lissa. Can you give us some information on how somebody might be able to get a hold of you for more information?
Sure. So one great way to reach me is on Facebook. So many people are on Facebook, so it's just easy to find me that way with my name, Lissa Sarno-Wells. And then you can also find me by shooting me an email if you're not a Facebook person or you want to be more private about it. So my email is lissawells820@gmail, and I think you'll put that up on the screen for people to see.
And you do the coaching with them through their cleanses and such.
Absolutely. So that's actually the special part about this, is that you get one-on-one coaching. So so I become your coach, and then I also have a team that I work with. So you become part of a team, so you feel like you're not in this alone. It's not just, you and your crazy thoughts in your own head, but you actually have a whole team of people cheering you on.
Well, this has been so fun. Thank you, Lissa, for joining us.
Thank
you. We'll put your name and number up on the screen. I want to thank everybody for joining us on the show today. KIYS Radio Network, the Kindness in Your Soul station. Watch us on Facebook and YouTube.
Yep.
And Channel 15, San Jose, Campbell. Right on. Woo-hoo. Have a good one, folks. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Lissa. Bye-bye.